there to
All of
the
them.
surf. For the grid, can we just put this out there to the surf world and the non-surf world collectively? Stop naming your kids Kai. It's done with. It happened. It's the name equivalent of the tribal tattoo. Done with. There's too many kids named Kai. It used to be kind of a cool name, I guess. Never anything against it. I still don't. It's just that it's gotten too popular. Pasty white kids, Europeans, any parent that thinks their butthole of a child is going to be born to be a waterman or some really cool, edgy guy because his name is Kai, he's probably going to be an actuary accountant or something. No shade to accountants. Or he's going to, be the guy that drinks 20 beers before the Thanksgiving football game in Wisconsin at 26 years old, trying to tell the cheerleaders he was once a pretty cool guy and could have gone all state if he didn't get that knee injury in the third quarter. It's done with, it's homogenized. Let's end it. Thank you. I said it. No regrets.
Starting the week off strong, Chaz Smith.
So long, Kai. Who of all the Kais is your favorite?
I don't know any Kais personally. I mean, I know Kai Lenny. There's professional surfers I know named Kai, but I can't think of anybody. I don't know anybody in my personal life, and I don't know of anybody outside of surfing even named Kai.
I got a friend who I think he's probably what, 11 now? His name is Kai. His dad's British. So I think he would fit square into the complaint department, the Kai complaint department.
Do you have a problem with the name Kai, or have you ever had the thought?
Uh, it is one of those, yes, I've had the thought in terms of it's one of those things that very clearly trended, right? Because it's not like Josh or Nate or anything like this, right? I mean, where, oh yeah, everybody's just named this because it's a popular common name. No, Kai hit clearly. And I always wonder, same, let's not be what's another one that was Taj. Like parents who name, where it's Taj never went as hard as Kai. But and look at me talking about this, when the name is so on the nose, then it's like Kai is less on the nose, I suppose, because there's not one famous Kai. Taj is
That's
very
what's
on the
weird.
nose.
That's what's weird about it is I can't identify what the inception point for the popularity of the name Kai would have been.
I
It was
mean,
just kind of like it was like a general poster child name for Hawaiians, I
yeah,
think, is
yes,
what it was. So if you had any affinity for Hawaii and you were into surfing, then Kai seemed like a cool name.
yeah, it does. It seems, yeah. And look at me talking about not naming children on the nose. My daughter is named Hemingway.
Well,
But
that's unique
yeah, it is unique. There's not many more Hemingways out there.
and
With
not
Kai
many
though,
female Hemingways either.
but back to it, like I just wonder, like it comes up, husband to wife or partner to partner, it comes up, pregnant, the list of names, starts getting kicked around. What about Kai? And I wonder in that moment, do they think they're being unique or has Kai so homogenized or there's so many Kais now where it is like Alan. This kid's name is Alan.
Kai,
This kid's name is Bill. And there over there is Kai.
I guess Kai was never on the table for us when we named our child,
Yes.
nor would it have been because it represents a certain culture that I don't identify with.
Yeah. But I mean, I wonder, has Kai moved so far that now you like Midwestern mom who names kid Kai, if you say, well, it's a Hawaiian name, if she'd be like, well, really? How's that?
I didn't know it existed in the Midwest. Like him giving the example of the footballer in Wisconsin, apparently it does if
I
he
mean,
has that reference point, but I did not
but I
know
think he
that
was,
it's gone that far and wide.
I think he was using a generic reference point. I don't know that there's got to be a way to look it up, to be quite frank. There's got to be a quick database of, yeah, most popular names by state, but I wonder if you could even search individual Kai.
Well, I liked his fervor.
Definitely.
I don't necessarily feel it, and I'm not necessarily opposed. If I met a new couple tomorrow at the park and their kid's name is Kai, I'm fine with it.
You feel no, like, really? There's not even like the third thought in your head stacked up
If it was
behind.
like, if it was the pasty white kid,
Yeah.
I would be like, huh, that's weird. But yeah, I would expect him to be of an island nation descent, I suppose.
The Kai I know, truly, his dad is British, his mom is from California, and he is as pasty white as they come.
Okay,
So, yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Is he also a butthole?
I don't know. I haven't seen Little Kai much recently, so he could be.
I mean, look, I think you've used the term butthole a few times over the years. Every time you do, it makes me laugh, and I feel like we really need to bring it back. He used it there, made me laugh. And then I was thinking, calling kids insulting names is kind
Yeah,
of the new trend that is hilarious. We had Luke Cederman last week, was incredible, his usage, and then butthole today. I'm for it.
absolutely incredible. Yeah, like insult kids with curses.
Do you want to?
That's 2026 is must do.
Do you feel comfortable enough telling what happened with Luke?
Heck yeah. It
Okay, tell
was,
it.
I mean, so the my one gap I have in the story is how old were those children?
I never saw him.
Okay, like because
There could have been empty seats for all I know, because we were in the back of the theater. He was on
yeah,
stage and he was talking to the front row, pointing down, and so I could not even see the back of their heads.
we can confirm with John Brooks. But
Okay.
anyway, so Luke Cederman was introduced at the Florida Surf Film Festival. They did a kind of best of on the big screen of some of Luke's funnier skits that he does. And Luke Cederman, man, seeing him, I guess everything is just better on the big screen, right? Like I've laughed at those on my phone, but seeing them on a movie big old screen was like made them side-splittingly funny. In any case, Luke Cederman was invited up to stage to discuss before the clips aired, I think. And John Brooks warned the audience, there's going to be some salty language in here. There's going to be some swears and lots of them. Luke Cederman proceeded to talk about how, yes, they use the C word a lot, that they've essentially wrecked it. It's become meaningless in Australia and New Zealand, whereas in America, it still has gravitas, right? We have not wrecked our C word yet. And then there was some boys in the front seat, I think, and again, of indeterminate age, but definitely, I think, young. And Luke invited them to, hey, say whatever swear you want. Say it as loud as you want. I can't remember how it transitioned into that, but somehow he's now asking or saying, hey, kids, this is your opportunity. You can say whatever swear you want as loud as you want. Silence. And after a while, he just said, you bunch of little pussies. Called them little pussies from stage, these kids, which was hilarious.
I mean, it was his humor has a tension to it to where the audience, you're not sure. First of all, you're not sure. It's kind of dry. So you're not sure if he's joking. And then you realize he's joking. Some people realize later than others. So the laughs are a little bit delayed sometimes. And you're like, was that delayed because people were offended? And so as that joke was evolving, and he says, go ahead and say whatever curse word you want. You don't know if those kids' parents are sitting right next to
Yep.
them and if they're going to be offended by Luke telling the kids to curse. The kids choose not to curse. So then you're like, okay, this joke may have fallen flat. Luke knows how to save the joke, but he saves the joke by going even deeper into the mud. And you're just like, okay, now is that going to get a laugh? And sure enough, the crowd responded, loved it. It was risky, but everybody loved it.
He really is a good comedian, that Luke Cederman. I mean,
He wore
he's got the comedian whatever that bone is, where he gets up on stage and it turns on, right? Like he's funny.
100%.
He's funny but he's just really nice, Like that's I just found him a very pleasant. He was a enjoyable person to hang out with, like hard worker, all this kind of stuff. And then the spotlight comes on and you can see that he will cut your throat for a laugh, which is I feel that's the kind of that's what you need to be a successful comic. You can't be worried about people's feelings.
We never spoke about that detail, but I identified it as well.
Yep.
Hanging out with him in a group, he's a little bit funnier than everybody else, but he's not like vying for attention. He's not
No.
making, yeah, it's not like playing. He's not doing the cutthroat thing that you're talking about. It's
Yes.
just like he's fitting in, he's having a good time, whatever. The moment he hits the stage or the camera turns on, it's like he ratchets it up to 11 and it's all gold.
Yeah, totally. And him like I noticed that when we did the live podcast, and again,
Yeah,
it didn't go very far, the live podcast, but I could tell, okay, if you set Luke up with a question, you can talk about it beforehand and everything, and he'll fully agree to it. He will pretend he doesn't know what you're talking about on stage because it plays funnier. And he's
that's a
exactly
better
right. Like,
joke. Yeah,
yeah, he had old John Brooks twisted in knots on stage. John Brooks is the MC of the Florida Surf Film Festival, does a very, very fine job of like, you know, uh, f- flowing the show, I guess, like
yeah.
interviews and all of that. Always man in charge, right? Uh, not used to being on back foot. Luke had him totally upside down, where he did not know which way to go with that, which is Luke's genius.
It was epic.
Yeah.
It was epic. Insulting the kids
Yep.
turns out
Very.
two of the funniest, best laughs I've had this week.
Yep.
Well, welcome back from the Florida Surf Film Festival. And one of the films we were watching, there was a interview segment with Dave Wassel. It was the Keith Malloy film about the surf photographer Krista Funk. I don't remember the name of the film. I'm sure that'll end up on YouTube at
First
some
in,
point.
last out.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Do you know if it's public already on
I
YouTube?
don't know. It's Red Bull Media House. I'm assuming that
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like the kind of film that you take on a big tour and all that. So I would imagine that it's out.
Okay. Well, I highly recommend it. I thought it was fantastic. But Dave Wassel, while I was watching him in the theater, I had an epiphany. He's got a doppelganger in the celebrity space. And I almost leaned over to you and said it. And I was like, you know what? I'll save it for the pod. You want to make a
Uh,
guess before I show you?
Let me try to guess. Dave Wassel looks like
He's a funny man and he's a younger man.
Nate Bargatze.
Nope. Adam Devine from Workaholics. Do you know Adam
Boom.
Devine?
Absolutely. Look at that. That's a funny one because I would have never picked that. Like Dave Wassel to me always is that classic lantern-jawed waterman. Like, you know, if you're on a sinking ship, you can pretty much know that Dave Wassel definitely is going to survive and probably save all the women and children. He has that like tough guy face. Adam Levine, I've always seen as soft, pudgy face, but when you see him stacked up next to each other, it's true.
I mean, it really is. I mean, you're right. One is muscled, one is pudgy, but they're both that same, I don't know, what is it, ectomorphic or
Yeah,
endomorphic? I think it's endo.
it's
Meso?
like the
Could be
it's like the
mesomorphic.
same distance of eyeball to eyeball, same length of nose, all of that sort of stuff.
Same shoulder broadness.
Yep.
You said Adam Levine. It's Adam Devine.
I'm sorry, Adam Devine. Adam
Yeah.
Levine is the hot singer from whatever that band is.
Doesn't look like these guys. He's the opposite of these guys.
No, opposite. But
But yeah,
Adam Devine is very funny.
I agree. I
Yep.
loved, and Workaholics I thought was incredible too.
Yep.
Anyway, so there you go. Check it out on YouTube if you're, or go to surfsplenderpodcast.com if you want to see the comparable side by side. But man, if they're going to make
Solid
a
call.
movie, yeah, if they're going to ever make a movie about Dave Wassel, Adam's got a role.
Adam should really though he needs to toughen up. He needs to go to the John Philbin School of go skydiving with Patrick Swayze.
Exactly. Yeah, he's got a long way to go. In other news, surf adjacent news this week. Happy anniversary.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I went for the full-throated uh hard post, the heart on sleeve hard post.
Well, 15 years requires it, I would
That's what I
think.
felt. That's what I felt. 15 years required the hard post.
Is there a traditional gift for 15 years?
I know there is because there's one for every year, but I have zero idea. We should guess what it is and do that favorite bit of the show where then we research it. I'm gonna bet it's copper.
Oh, that's a good one. I mean, I wasn't even going to be able to guess because it's always something weird. It'll be like wood. And I'm like, why
Let's
would wood be?
paper is one, I think.
Okay. What is the traditional gift? Is that the way to put it? Traditional gift for our 15th anniversary. Uh, it would be, nope, there is no traditional.
There's no it says
Oh,
here
crystal.
crystal. Yeah,
Crystal.
crystal. Okay. Crystal's pretty good. I should have gotten something crystal. Maybe I still
What it,
can.
does she
I'll
like a
t
martini?
I'll tell you what I oh she we had martinis last night. So there we
So
go.
get a martini, crystal martini glass.
Perfect. That's great call, David. But guess what I did get her that she
What?
is even more thrilled about that is neither has no bit of crystal.
A Veyer watch.
A box of trees wax is a
No way.
literally what I got her. She loves trees. Have you ever used trees wax?
Absolutely. They sponsor Spit with Scott.
I mean, trees wax is truly incredible. It's funny. It's one of those things where you think that you can't beat wax, right? Like
Hmm.
there's no room in the wax market for anything other than sticky bums. For my money, I could see, I guess, if you're a Zogs dude or if you are a foo person. But uh, when people look at a crowded, jammed market and think, you know what's missing? Trees wax. Wax made from tree and stuff. And it's great.
I know it works. So literally, Christian from Treeswax emailed me 10 minutes before we started recording this, and I didn't open it because I was busy in prep, but I just opened it now, and he said, um, for the holidays, we're going to offer 50% off for 2 weeks only following the next show. So I guess next week. Same code, spit, and then with any beanie purchase, they give you a free 6 pack of wax. So
Worth it. I'm telling
treeswax.com.
you,
Yeah.
you should scrub your deck, uh, wax it up with trees, and it's epic.
I know. So it's also the only petroleum-free surf wax on the
That's why.
market.
Yeah, that's what makes
So
it good. And but it sticks like it's got that stick that you want. It's not foo sticky.
yeah,
Uh, it's like, yeah, it's a great wax. Can't speak
good,
highly enough of trees
good,
wax.
good gift. Did she appreciate it?
She did. She loves it. And then she kept bugging me for more trees wax because I just brought one bar home from the
The
boardroom
boardroom.
show.
Yeah.
And so she waxed it up, and then the bar was getting lower and lower, and she didn't want to put any other wax on the trees wax. And I was like, "Don't worry about it. I'll get you more trees wax." And then whew, I did finally
Did you buy it online or did you get it from a retail?
online.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Could have saved you 20% with promo code SPIT and now 50% apparently.
man, go get
Um,
it. Go get it for your loved ones.
so questions about marriage. Any advice, first of all, to get to 15?
Wow. Never call your wife your best friend. Don't make your wife your best friend. Have other friends. Uh, yeah. What? Be funny. Try to be funny. think you're think you're funny. Think you're funny, and then that will like that's the thing about funniness, right? I'm not that funny. I'm not that funny of a guy, but I am the funniest person I know personally to myself. And so I'm always just busting myself up all the time. And even when other people don't think you're funny, if you think you're funny, eventually it forces them to think, well, that's kind of funny.
My
So,
4-year-old thinks I'm funny, and
yeah.
then he and I get into a little joke and a laugh, and she's left out unless she
Yep.
wants to agree that I'm also funny.
Exactly. Exactly. You leave other people behind. But yeah, I read what was it? I read a quote. I can't remember. It was something about like love is less important in a marriage than friendship or something like that. Which not your best friend, but there was some, and not that love's not important, but there's something to that, I think, is just having a good time together,
Mm.
uh, and making that good time like last, like figuring out how to have a good time.
Okay, follow-up questions. Does it get easier, harder, better, or worse over the course of 15 years?
I mean, I think both easier and better. Like
Okay, good.
it feels like for me at least, it feels like a perfectly worn, something, shoe or whatever. I don't know what analogy, but something that's perfectly worn, where it hits that perfectly worn moment and you think, wow, this is so much better. This article is so much better than it was at the start, but then it like keeps getting better. You're like, whoa, it's like now there's more depth, there's more patina, there's more whatever it is. But yeah, I mean, so easier and better for me.
Fantastic to hear. Congrats.
Thank you.
I think also we've talked in the past about the benefit of the starter marriage, getting a starter marriage under your belt. You know, you're going to make a lot of mistakes, but get it out of the way, get out of it, move on, and you'll be such a better partner for your second spouse because of those lessons learned. Go ahead.
I mean, that's to that point exactly. Whether you're like actively going for the starter marriage or not, I just think people should get like the people who date forever, right? Who they date, and then finally get married way later. there's something to being married that's structurally different than dating. So if you're going to date forever, just get married and don't worry about getting divorced. Like, just if if you like this person enough to be with them for a long time, then marry them. Like,
Yeah.
if you're not marrying them, then why are you with them for a long time, right? Like, I
Yeah.
get it if you're fundamentally opposed. If you are Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn, where you are never going to get married, that's one thing, right? But if you eventually, if marriage is in the cards and you've been dating somebody for 5 years, just marry them right now.
I wonder with them, the celebrity example, if they had previous marriages.
I think they both did. I
So
think both.
that's a point that I was going to make is we recommend getting a starter marriage under your belt, but that rule does not compound for a third marriage or a fourth marriage.
No.
It's like two is the right number.
Yeah,
Two
two is
is
the
you
right number.
learned your lessons, you commit to the number two, you're better at it. But once you get out of two, I'm almost not that I
No,
would ever plan to get out of number two for me, but it's like I would never get married again, I don't
no
think.
more. Yeah, at
Like
that
it's
point, no more.
just at that point, no more, which I
And
think is where Goldie Hawn is at.
yeah, but I mean, they seem like fundamentally opposed to it though, right? Like
Yes.
I feel the difference is though, like, I think, especially if you're older, right? If you've done two and you failed at two marriages, then don't even date at that point. Like, you're just not good at it, man. Just like sit on the sidelines.
Yeah. By the way, am I frozen for you?
No, am I frozen?
Okay. You froze up and then you came back, but now it's a little bit uh sketchy.
I was just being real still.
Okay, fair enough. Um, One other email I got, aside from Trees Wax, was from our boys at NVS Fins. You've used NVS Fins, right? They
I
hooked you up.
Yeah, NVS Fins has changed. I've said it once, I'll say it again. Changed my surfing. I did not know. I had never paid much attention to fins. I know that they were, kind of the fin revolution when FCS and futures and all this, started toying with them. But I never really felt much difference, no matter what kind of set of futures, for example, I used. Not that they're bad fins. I wasn't doing, I don't know. But NVS, like, it just changed it. I was like, wow, this board is 20% better with these fins.
Well, I would argue that was probably because you were riding a lot of thrusters, and I had the same experience where I didn't notice a ton of difference between different thruster sets. But once you ride a single fin and have different types of single fins, you're like, oh, those are entirely different. And
Yeah,
then twin fins also very
that's it.
different. So NVS just kicked off starting today a Black Friday sale. All their Apex series fins, which is what we ride. I've never had anything from them that's not the Apex series, but they're all 25% off site wide. So there's they do like the C drive fins. I wish I had a set actually to show you. They do these kind of, I don't want to say experimental style of fins, but like Shane Horan's straight up fins are just kind of unconventional looking. They have a bunch of those, and this is the time that you can buy those. Because I know people look at those Shane Horan fins and they go, I would love to try them, but I don't want to spend $100.
Yeah.
Well, now you can get them for 75 because they're 25% off. You can get the C drives for 25% off. So anything that you've been thinking about, didn't want to pull the trigger on, now is the time. 25% off.
And again, do it Black Friday, perfect time to do it, right? Like, who wants to go out on Black Friday shopping? And of course,
Nobody.
Cyber Monday and all the silliness, right? Do it now, out of the way. Get yourself a little something.
These are the Shane Horan straight up fins.
Wow, have you ridden that?
No, I've been meaning to.
What is it? What would that go on?
Twin fins. These are I got the twin fins set up. But
I gotta get it.
Shane just says they're the best fins. They're faster and they're more maneuverable.
Okay, I'm getting a pair of those.
So there you go.
I'm getting a
Um,
pair.
so uh talking about futures and FCS, you don't have to change out the boards that you're riding for these or the fin boxes. They offer all of their fins with either FCS plugs or FCS base or futures base. So when you make your purchase, just make sure that you buy the right base for the board that you're riding. But
Fantastic. Yeah,
yeah,
great fins. Great, great fins.
yeah, no promo code either. Just 25% off. It gets deducted once it's in your shopping cart, and their website is surfnvs.com. So
Naked
enjoy that.
Vikings.
Naked Vikings. Okay, let's get into surf news, the segment that gets shorter and shorter every week.
What
And
do
you
we
know
got
what, by
this
the
week?
way, before we get into that, you talking about 15-year anniversary, we also have a Tools to Live By that's all about romance and love.
Perfect.
So it fits with the theme of the show.
Perfect.
Not even Valentine's Day.
Wedged.
Um, okay, so champs return in big news. Another multi-time world champ is returning to the tour for 2026. Kelly Slater just announced his comeback to tour.
Oh, I mean, my goodness. Wouldn't it be amazing? I mean, like the crazy thing is, as you're saying it, I know that that is insane. Uh, but there's 10% of my mind thinking, is this true? Which there should be, that's how long Kelly has hung around, as I still believe it might be true. Even though he just had hip replacement surgery and he's 65 years old, I still think he would totally try to throw his hat in.
I think he didn't have it in his mind until he saw everybody else making headlines coming back to tour. And there's a part of him, you said 10% in your brain, it's
Yep.
40% in his brain
Yep.
of thinking that this is a good idea.
That he could do it, that he could do it. I mean, I
That-
wonder where he thinks. I think he wouldn't have enough delusion to think that he could be top five. But do you think he has enough delusion that he thinks he could be 20?
yeah. I mean, I think he could be 20. I don't think he could win an event.
No. But you think he could end the year at 20?
I think he could end the year at 20,
Where like what is Kelly Slater's ceiling on tour?
15.
You think Kelly Slater could get 15
I
over the
think
year?
so. Uh,
Really?
End the year at 15th. I mean, I could pull up right now to see who ended at 15th last year, and we can just see if he's better than that person.
Let's look.
Okay.
But I'm thinking off the top of my head while you're searching, you got to get through John, Gabriel, uh, Ethan Ewing. I mean, I could just go, there's three, I guess.
I mean, okay, 15 would be tough. 15 is Crosby Colapinto, 14 is Jake Marshall, 16 is Marco Munoz. So I think that he's right there between Crosby and Marco.
Wow. That's a big call. I bet Kelly Slater couldn't get better than what's the last place?
35th.
I bet Kelly would be 34th.
Right there with Edgard Grogia.
He could beat Edgard. I don't know that he could beat Edgard Grogia.
I think he could. He'd
Really?
smoke him, yeah. I mean, it depends on the location. Edgard will smoke him in knee-high surf.
Yeah. But
But Kelly's
uh
not coming back. For the record, that was a joke. Kelly is not coming back.
but
Yeah.
back for all it's okay, so what do you attribute it to? Is it the uh most clear answer, Occam's razor? The clearest answer is the truest, easiest. Is it that they changed tour to now be a regular tour, ending at pipe, et cetera, and that was enough to tip the scales to get not one, not two, not three, but four former champions who had each gone off tour and yeah, had like murky kind of messaging about whether or not they were going to come back.
I
All that.
think that I think that Gabriel Medina was always going to come back 100%. I
Okay.
think that Carissa Moore was 90% planning to make a comeback. I think that John was probably 50 to 60%, and Steph was probably maybe less than that. But because of the changes that were made, that bumped up everybody's interest level.
Question for you. I mean, there's a lot of questions or talking points here, but
Yep.
quick question for you. Uh, is this a straight up slap in Nathan Florence's face? They were on a boat sailing. Nate has been publicly lobbying for the slab tour. Let's get John on the slab tour, slab tour, slab tour, slab tour. Now he's got his ear. He's got the open seas, the family there. And John goes sailing and then says, rejoining tour. Did Nathan totally fumble the slab tour pitch?
No, this was not a slap to Nathan. I think that that is still on the docket. I think this was a timing issue, and the timing's related to the Olympics. So I think their plan is to get back on tour, probably for each and every one of these athletes, to get back on tour, qualify for the Olympics, compete in the Olympics, and then they can do the next phase. And the next
Uh,
phase for him is the slab tour.
okay, so second question to you then, this. Which of those surfers will they all qualify for the Olympics? It's going to be
No.
like Gabe's got a tough he's got the toughest draw, right?
I don't think so. I think Stephanie probably has. S-
Stefan, I don't know though. Like
Stephanie and Carissa have a tough draw.
Stephanie and Chris definitely, but I think not tougher than Gabriel. Gabriel's going to have to look at all the top level Brazilians that he's going to have to get through.
I would make the bold claim to say that Gabriel is the top dog in that mix, and they are more worried about having him than he's worried about having them.
Maybe, but I will say that before Gabriel took the year off, he showed a uh, sort of stunning, I don't know, like blunders, heat strategy blunders and stuff through that the year before he took off. It wasn't typical Gabriel Medina.
So, what's your thought? Do you think Gabriel's going to come back? What Gabriel do you think we're going to see this year?
I mean, that's the trouble. I would have said that Gabriel Medina, the Dark Knight, the, all like the competitive beast, all of that, but I don't know that that flame is still in his heart.
I think it is. I think it's actually probably revitalized. Um, I think that I don't think that we'll see the same dominance that we saw once, but I think we're going to see 85% of that. And I think that's enough.
Uh, w One prediction I have for this year with Gabriel coming back is I'm gonna think, and you can go to the bank and do exactly the opposite that I say because that's my unique skill. But I think we're gonna see a big slip in Italo Ferreira.
I'll, I will agree with you there. I will not take your advice by doing the opposite. I think that you're actually correct.
I mean, I think that I wonder if we've last year especially we reached peak Italo where nobody wants to see, like the judges even don't really want to see him surf that much anymore. Like that his kind of spastic go for broke thing is just not that pleasing anymore. Like there's something it hasn't aged well.
It it definitely has not. And the other thing is, I've often seen surfers come back the following year on tour having made adjustments, having learned from certain mistakes and kind of coming back with a new game plan or something. And I don't know that he's doing that. I
Yeah.
don't know that he fully understands that the reason why Yago won is that it's a new version of Brazilian surfing, is
Yep.
that they've been kind of typecast as having bad style, and Yago is the exact opposite. And so it was refreshing. So I don't know. I don't think it would be wise for Idolo to necessarily copy what somebody else is doing, but he definitely needs to change up his game.
I was just last show, I think, or last time we talked about surfing, so maybe like seven shows ago. I was thinking, hey, the Carissa coming back, the girls' side of the draw is more exciting than the dude side now. With John and Gabriel coming back, I think now we're back to it's an equal, there's interest all around. Like I'm actually curious about the tour, which I can't say that I even cared one lick about definitely the men's draw or the men's side, before this, before the prodigal sons returned.
Well, I think another thing that's kind of interesting is how they spent their year off. And I know that obviously Gabriel was recovering from injury for the first half of the year, but John, it wasn't just that John was sailing recreationally. He was searching for epic surf and then he
Yep.
was posting clips in epic surf. And the only clips that I saw Gabriel Medina post were at dumpy closeout beach breaks in Brazil and a lot of partying.
I will say though,
And I mean doing gym workouts too, but
yeah, but what does better for WSL? Surfing dumpy beach breaks or surfing perfection?
great point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'll be
Time will
curious. I'll
tell.
be curious if, I mean, Gabriel, like a lot happened last year, I feel, in terms of uh, both I don't know, don't want to say progression, but how professional surfing changed. I think you hit the nail on the head in terms of Yago's style kind of blew open uh, what's going to be judged, what surfers are being judged against, I suppose, right? It's no longer enough to, and I think Ethan Ewing too. I mean, I think this has been brewing for a minute of like good, stylish all around surfing, which Gabriel Medina has.
To a degree.
Yeah, not as stylish.
He's not unstylish, but it's purely like neutral
Yeah,
style.
yeah, a functional style.
Super functional.
Yeah.
The other news story here is kind of a return of a triple header, not Triple Crown in Hawaii. There's a sunset event, a Haleiwa event, and a pipe event. And what's kind of the real headline here is that sunset started 2 days ago, or I'm sorry, yesterday, and there's no live stream.
Wow.
Number
I had
one,
zero idea.
I know. Number one, you probably didn't even know that sunset started,
Zero idea.
and there's no freaking live stream of it. And it's like a murderer's row of Hawaiian surfers that is in the event.
Is it a Challenger Series event?
No, it's not even a Challenger series. It's a
How's that?
2000 QS. All three events are 2000 QS, including the Florence Pipe Pro.
That's weird.
I know.
When is the Pipe Pro? December.
December
Okay.
10th. So
Uh,
this the sunset event started on the 20th and it goes to the 26th. The Haleiwa event starts on November 29th, and then the pipe event starts on December 10th. So all within the next 3 or 4 weeks.
I wonder what the reasoning for, obviously the live stream is expensive. You've got to fly the talent out there, all that, blah, 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 blah. But I mean, yeah, they clearly crunched the numbers and said for the amount of eyeballs we get on this, it is 100% not worth live streaming Sunset.
Well, Liam McNamara, I'm sure, would love to come on and join us, and he can actually tell us exactly what the problem is. And as he's told me in the past, it's just a devaluation of Hawaii
Yeah.
as, a focal point of surfing. It's like if the dollars aren't there, the WSL, if the dollars aren't being handed out to them by local governing bodies, whatever, the WSL is not going to fork it over or work hard to try to find a sponsor to do it
I mean, and you would
because they don't
think
see the
that
value in Hawaii.
Hawaii would or should be a loss leader, right? That you don't need to make money, or ideally you can, but if you don't, just having an airing Hawaiian contest is essential to the core tenet of the business.
Totally agree, dude. It's crazy. And I
Yeah.
mean, as a fan, I I'm bummed that I can't
Yeah.
watch the Sunset event yesterday.
Frustrating.
Yeah, bizarre. But for the record, 32 surfers remain on the men's side. The women's side is down to the semifinals. They got all the way through the quarterfinals. Obviously, there's fewer surfers in that side of the draw, but among the 32 surfers on the men's side, 29 are Hawaiians.
Felipe Toledo is one of the other ones.
He's not, but he has won Sunset in the past.
Is it big, Sunset?
I didn't see any photos or anything. I just went and I mean, I literally didn't see photos, video. I went to their website. They did run a clip on the homepage, but I think it was an old clip. And then they do have the results posted in real time, but no video to show.
Sweet. I like that. I like just results coming up. I'm just gonna sit on my computer screen and watch as 6.7s pop up.
Click refresh a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Just like the olden days.
Yep. Exciting.
Yeah, nostalgic.
Yeah.
Well, hey, Veyer watches. I'm wearing a different one today.
I love the bezel on yours.
That color.
Yeah, the orange is nice.
I feel like this is a A5 is maybe what they call it.
I like it.
I know I don't wear this often enough, but I'm a big
we
fan.
we have to last week in Florida, we gave both Luke Cederman and John Philbin their watches. Luke Cederman's did not leave his wrist. John Philbin, poor guy. I think he left it at the Beachside Tavern. The next morning, I have not seen an adult man so sad about something, like losing something, in a long time. He was like, went out to the Rivian, was like digging in the cushions. So if Vayer could have it in their hearts, maybe to get John Philbin another watch, it would honestly make his Christmas bright.
I think Kevin was also going to go back and try to get it from Beachside, so maybe he did or will.
Okay, great.
But yeah, John Philbin, it was funny. He carried that box around for the
Yes.
next 3 hours after the live show, through the bar, holding, cherishing it. And somehow at the last minute, when Kevin's like, hey, it's time to go, he walked away without it.
Yeah.
So
Sad.
it was sad, but you're right. Luke didn't leave his wrist, and it actually suited him really well.
Very well.
Yeah. So if you want to get a Veyer watch for the holidays, I was going to say use our promo code, which will save you 15%, but I think they're doing 25% off on their website right now. So just go there and use that.
Between NVS and Vayer watches, you can do a good percentage of your Christmas shopping and get a little something for yourself before Black Friday.
I know this is a reminder to me right now to create my Christmas list. I'm sure my parents are going to ask for it eventually, but it's like I'll just send it to them now and they could save Black Friday deals, you know?
Boom, boom.
Well, this email came through, I think, to both of us a couple of weeks ago, and I wanted to get feedback from some female listeners. I thought that would be appropriate, so it took a week or two to make it to the show, but I did get that feedback.
Smart.
Yeah, okay, so this came through from a listener. Let me see if he identifies himself. Yes, he does. Alejandro sent this. He said, David and Chaz, as both of you are married men, perhaps you forget the days of yore when you were on the market. Step into the shoes of a single male surfer in his early 30s looking for love and someone who is compatible with his lifestyle. The first obvious pool to draw from, other surfers. Foregoing the advice of not having your significant other love your favorite activity as surfing is usually one's time alone. I ran into this issue. Is it okay to hit on women in the surf? So I think this is a universal question, actually, that a lot of single
Sure
dudes
is.
probably encounter.
Even married dudes probably too.
Good point. So I appreciate Alejandro bringing it up. And he goes on to say, maybe it's my generation and admittedly a certain lack of bravado, but my instinct is just to leave women in the water alone and not be the umpteenth dude who's trying to chat them up in the water that day. We're all just out catching a wave, trying to get some space from day to day life. And as surfing is generally a male dominated space, it's already enough work, I'm assuming, for women to assert their place in the lineup and get their own waves. That being said, I did get into a chat while surfing today with a gorgeous South American. And I was left wondering if I dropped the ball when I simply said I was getting a wave in. Nice to meet you. See you around. There was some flirting, banter, and very good, thoughtful conversation about surfing's culture and competition. Quote, Yago Dora isn't the best Brazilian, but he's the most stylish, and I think that's really important for Brazil to move forward in our sport. End quote. Certified surf nerd, solid intermediate, and cute to boot. Um, Maybe that subliminally worked its way into your and my conversation because it was in Alejandro's email.
Yeah.
Uh, Okay, he goes on to say there were no natural options for to go for in my mind. Ask her number in between sets, question mark. Try to see if I catch her in the lot later, question mark. There are plenty of fish in the sea, but usually I seem to run into them right as I'm about to jump in the water and have no way of following up, or we're in the middle of getting waves. Surfing being such a life-consuming all-consuming pursuit, it would make sense to lean into, but it also seems there aren't any smooth uh, ways of going about it. Perhaps the best thing is just to accept my male ego and wish for someone who doesn't mind waiting for me on the beach as they read a book and soak in the sun. And if they're really ride or die, film me doing the same cutback 20 times in a session. Work, Alejandro.
Alejandro, you came to the right place. As does everyone. We have there to help you, to guide you, to navigate you. I'm going to go first, and then you're going to go on the girls. So I had two minds about this, right? There is one rule is leave the lineup alone, full stop. Don't talk with your buddy in the lineup. The lineup is not a talking place, right? I think that is
Correct.
a
100%.
general, like that should be the rule, but that is not the rule. Like, and so, what, you can't just be a curmudgeon out there. Like I go out there and talk with buddies and all that, like everybody else does. Like try not to be loud, try not to be obnoxious. But in any case, so that's the starting point. But I'm gonna say, why not? Like, don't be obnoxious in hitting on girls in the lineup. But if there's a opening, why not? Because when does it ever feel bad to be for somebody to think you're attractive, right? So be ready to shut it down quick. If she looks annoyed, if you are annoying her, like have your radar or your gaydar up like super good and shoot your shot, but then back right off if that first one doesn't land. And I will say, furthermore, Alejandro totally blew it by not getting her if she's beautiful, all the things she's ticking all these boxes. Why not? So what do you have to lose at that point, Alejandro, you big baby, to say, I mean, as kind of unseemly, as unadult like as it is, at the very least, because it's easy to remember, what's your Instagram, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Then you hit her in the DMs, like be better to say what's your number and then have that show her that your muscle memory is good or your memory muscle is good. But if you don't have a good memory muscle, the very least is, hey, what's your Instagram? Boom, Alejandro, what were you thinking, man?
Yeah, yeah, I get the impression that Alejandro is erring on the wrong side here. You know what I
Yes,
mean? Like I think he is being a bit too delicate of her
he would be.
sensibility.
He would be that dude.
Yeah. So I think that but I appreciate the question. And I think this is a question that's worth addressing. But I think that Alejandro, definitely, if she's communicating with you that extensively in the lineup, then it is definitely not inappropriate to have a follow up and ask if she wants to see each other again.
Completely.
Um,
Be
but
forward.
but there is the line that would be crossed is if she's giving you no attention whatsoever, she hasn't
And you
even made eye
continue.
contact with you
Yes.
and then you force the conversation upon her. That would be odd.
I mean, this whole tool demands self-awareness, right? It demands
100%.
a
Yeah.
very accurate reading of the situation. Isn't it weird? I've been out more times than I can count with the guy or girl who doesn't pick up on the cue that the person that they are talking to is not romantically interested in them at all and just keep going and going. And I'm like, I mean, I've seen this with sober people too. So this is not just like I'm boozily unaware of what's going on. But like, can't you see? Like, or do you not care? I guess. Is this part of your MO? Is you might not like me now, but I will mow you over at some point by just continuing,
Which has never worked once in the history of mankind.
except for me and my comedy at home with my family.
But never as an opening salvo, like an opening. There has to be an initial interest there. You're not going to wear her down and get her to love you. You might get her to acquiesce, but it's never the resulting relationship won't bode well.
Yeah. I mean, I was trying to think. I wore the wife down, right? I straight ground her down. I told her day I met her, I'm marrying you, and but there was a spark. Like
That
she wouldn't have, like, yeah, she didn't see
I
it as much, but it was there.
I know Cersei a little bit, and I can almost guarantee she would not be forced into anything.
Yeah, for sure. But I did as much forcing as I could.
Right. But there was a spark.
Yeah.
There was an opening.
Okay, but
Wait,
what did our fair listeners say about this?
I will get to that in 1 second. Want to ask you though, uh, prior to 15 years of marriage, did you ever hit on a female in the lineup?
Uh, I'm not a big hitter on, but like for sure, yeah, there was one, where was it? In Was it Trestles? Yeah, I think I was surfing Trestles with a buddy, and me and Buddy chatted up these two girls and ended up back at their house in the hot tub. Ooh la
Look at
la.
you.
Yeah.
Wow, not only hitting on, but really like
Going to the
converting.
hot tub. Alejandro should have asked her if she had a hot tub.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember ever hitting on any women in the lineup. Uh, but women weren't always in the lineup up until like the last 10 years. You know
And
what I mean?
definitely
Like
not with the amount.
there was the first 20 years of my surfing experience, it was a rarity.
Yeah.
But also a funny thing happen that I remember happening is they always looked way hotter. Like it added to their allure just the fact that they were surfing. Because I would like the fact that there's a female in the lineup, she's already like a seven. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, but then I was like, I remember having like this thought process in my head of looking at I don't know, a girl in the lineup thinking, if I just ran into her like in the grocery store on land, I don't think I would be attracted to her.
Yeah.
But just by virtue of the fact that she's in the lineup, maybe because she's wearing a skin fitting suit, you know, or something, all of a sudden I'm attracted to her.
The same goes for snowboarding, except exponentially even more than surfing, I think. a snowboarding girl is like the cute. I've never seen, I don't think, an unattractive female snowboarder. Like they look so cute. There's something super cute about it. And I think similar with surfing.
It's funny, right?
Yeah,
It's really interesting. Okay. So I sent this email to three different female listeners, longtime listeners. They each responded thoroughly. There was no way for me to read all three, but the one of the emails really kind of summed up what the other two were saying anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll read you one of these emails. Thank you to everybody who contributed though. This is from Cara Cutter. She actually joined one of our listener trips to El Salvador as the only female surfer on the trip.
that's bold. I
I
like
know.
that. Was there other single male surfers on that trip?
Other single male surfers?
Yeah,
It was all single male surf. I mean, there was one guy who brought his wife. I
I
think.
know, but like, were any of them single back home too? As in no
Oh,
spouse, no girlfriend.
I don't know. I'm sure.
Was she getting hit on there?
No, I don't think so. I think everybody was super respectful.
Is that
Um,
respectful? That's what I would
great.
argue
Well,
that maybe
great
it's not
question.
respectful.
I don't know. Who am I to say? But she was the only female on the trip that was a surfer. Like I said, one of the dude brought his wife, but I don't think that she was surfing. Anyways, Kara writes a Substack exploring surf culture and gender dynamics in the lineup. So, perfect person to answer this question. And that is,
Expert.
yeah, that is called Untamed and Salty on Substack if you want to go follow it. Anyway, she replies to say, I love this question and even more the fact that you're asking it. In my experience, many male surfers make far too many assumptions. You're in a rare airs territory here, which is exactly the type of energy women notice. Here's some further food for thought. YouTube podcaster Chris Williamson recently mentioned two viral clips where women who were trying to get some good old fashioned male attention. In one, a gorgeous brunette and her friends concoct a full blown heist to steal the takeout salad of a finance bro just so they can track him down on Instagram and offer him a quote replacement. Women are clever little geniuses, so never underestimate the lengths that they will go to. In another video viral clip that he showed, an adorable redhead wanders through Central Park in a very intentionally hot girl walk, saying, my hair is great, my skin is great, boobs are out, and still nobody ever hits on me. The point being, for every guy in the lineup imagining a dreamy sunset session with a pretty surfer girl, there's a woman wishing for the exact same thing, and sometimes even with a man. And honestly, unlike in the lineup where nobody's taking home the kook, there are no real rules in life. We are all adults now. Life is short. The ocean teaches that nothing is promised. If you hesitate, the moment will slip away like the perfect set that you missed because you were too busy checking out her dot 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 equipment. That said, gender dynamics are real, and the lineup can already feel like a gladiator pit for us. The easiest way not to be, quote, that guy is to run a quick vibe check. Number one, is she smiling? At you, not at the dolphins breaching behind you. Number two, is she looking your way more than once? Is she answering you with more than a single sentence? More than a polite glance, more than a, did you really just half paddle for that one side eye? If the vibe is on, trust yourself, then go for it. We don't pass on a set wave in this club, and you don't pass on a gorgeous surfer goddess who can break down goofy foot style points. And if you want to make sure she never feels cornered or defensive, here are some gold standard moves. Option A, quote, hey, I've really been enjoying chatting with you. Would you be open to grabbing a coffee sometime? End quote. This is low lift, it's non boozy, and it signals that you actually want conversation, not just a parking lot rendezvous. Though I hope that's in the cards for you too. Option B is, would you be open to taking my number? Keywords, you take mine. The ball stays completely in her court. And then option C, which is more surf practical, if you're out there without a phone, you could say, would you be open to sharing your Instagram handle? I'd love to keep this conversation going. Or can I leave a note with my name and number on your car? End quote. Keep it light, keep smiling, respect the lineup, and remember, Women flirt in the water too. It might be subtle at first, but you'll feel it long before you see it. And if you're the kind of man tuned in enough to notice,
Boom. That is some of the finest advice ever served up on this program.
as can only be written by somebody who has been hit on in the lineup, both in appropriate ways and inappropriate ways.
So now at the end of this tool to live by, it's unfortunate for poor Alejandro that his American goddess, that he missed the set, right? Is he just sitting here listening, growing sadder and sadder by the moment?
I would like to think that if it was meant to be, they will cross paths once again.
That's true. Alejandro, chin up.
Chin up and go back to the same spot, lurk around in the parking lot.
Yep.
But hey, I want to just restate this one line here because I think this is valuable. Would you be open to taking my number?
Boom. That's genius right there. Very, very smart.
Wish I had that one in my dating days.
Yep. Would you be? I mean, it's perfect. Putting ball in court,
Yeah,
being confident, being, self-assured. I don't need, if you call me if you want.
I love it.
Yeah, love it too.
All right. Well, thank you, both Alejandro and Cara, and the other two ladies who also emailed back and provided equally insightful feedback. I think this helps everybody.
But so it was the universal though amongst the three. It was a 3 for 3. Yeah, just check the vibe and don't be shy.
It was 3 for 3 of them basically saying it sounds like that woman actually was flirting back with Alejandro and was probably disappointed that he didn't make the move.
Alejandro again. That chin was up for a second. It's right back down.
Alejandro, I've spent time with Alejandro. He'll have plenty more opportunities.
Yeah, Alejandro, for those ladies out there listening, any single ladies out there, Alejandro is a catch and a half.
In the San Diego area.
Yeah.
The the thing that I think is important, my dating advice just in general was, or what I learned was the getting your chin down thing that you're talking about is actually poison for
Oh
dating.
man. Yep.
Like you have to have a thick skin, you shake it off, chin up, move forward with confidence. The moment you start feeling woe is me or feeling beat down by the losses, you could smell it a mile away and it does not bode well.
You're a stinky Eeyore.
Exactly. All right. Well, should we take a commercial break and come back with Barrel or Not?
Sure should.
All right, Ches, welcome back from break.
That's a fine Florence shirt you got on there, David Lee Scales.
Thanks, man.
Are you getting invited on the slab tour?
I wish.
Did
No, I
Nathan
actually don't wish.
did Nathan give John's golden ticket to you?
Sadly, no. I wish I could say I had a personal relationship with the boys, but no, I did have a personal relationship and partnership with Florence for a long time, and I've still got the clothes and I still wear the clothes.
Great.
So I'm a big fan. Um, Louis here from South Coast of Australia sent an email and he said, by the way, it's Lewis, right?
You
It's
sure?
spelled Lewis. I don't know whether I should pronounce Lewis or Louis.
I think it is up to the person, right? It's one of those
Yeah.
impossible ones where
Yeah.
I don't, you'd have to hear him say his own name.
Okay, well, it's spelled Lewis.
Yeah.
He said, I'd like to follow up on last week's Barrel or Gnaw regarding the flannel tie. What he means is tying a flannel around your waist. He goes, I'm noticing that Hip and Happening Youth are going for a Miss Universe sash configuration. It begins by folding both ends of the sleeves and spinning the flannel in a way that it twists, leaving no section flapping out. Then they take the arms and drape it over one shoulder. Let's use the right as an example, while the other comes from below, grazing opposite side, left, hip, and then tying together in the middle. Not only are both hands free, you have minimal flappage, you are on trend with urban youth culture, but the flannel is conveniently set up for rappelling out of a one-story building. I haven't personally tried this as we're headed into summer, but I'll be back in 7 months with updates.
Lua, 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 lua. Uh, yeah. I mean, I have seen the sweat, done that cross tie thing, but I've never seen, or yeah, forgot about the full wrap. I've been seeing this too amongst the cool kids.
You have? I've never seen it spun into a way that makes it more like a rope.
Yeah. Yep. It's
Kids
New
are
York.
smart.
The way they're doing it in New York City.
Wow, okay, good to know. I'm glad to be in on this. Now I will utilize it.
You can do it.
Okay, barrel or not, Chaz. Bragging about how little money you spent. Quote, growing up, I remember friends bragging about how expensive something was, a car that their parents got or a toy that they got for Christmas. But now my friends brag about how much money they saved, whether something's on sale or maybe they're just such a savvy shopper. Did our culture shift or was this just kids mentality versus adults mentality? Or is it ever appropriate to openly brag about the price of things? I've never really, I'm never really bothered when somebody does it, but I feel an internal resistance to ever publicly discuss money that I've spent. So, barrel or not, bragging about the price of things.
Zero barrel. He hit the nail on the head. In terms of like pointing out something that none of us should do. I think there's two different price braggers of the low cost braggers or the cheap braggers, right? Like I spent a lot of money on that bragger is clearly trying to alpha something, right?
That's
Like,
clearly no barrel.
yeah, that's clearly no barrel. Now, the other one, both of them are no barrels. You have somebody who is bragging about being thrifty, right? The person who is like, I'm a thrifty dude. Thriftiness is fine in life. It's a fine way to practice things. It is not fine to be publicly out there that you're cheap, right? Because I think the line between thrifty and cheap is very, very, very fine, right? So I have buddies who full on are cheap and love to brag about. I would argue that only cheap people like to brag about the money they've saved. So you're either cheap. I'm sorry, that's one of the categories. The other category, and I find myself doing this, unfortunately, from time to time, and need to stop doing this. I'll say something doesn't cost a lot out of embarrassment, right? If somebody compliments something I have, then I will say, "Oh, I got it secondhand or something," right? Like it's like a knee jerk for some reason deflection of a compliment, which we all need, or I certainly just need to do and I've been working on it, just doing better at taking compliments, taking a compliment generously and graciously and being thank you, like I like your blank. Well, thank you. Instead of trying to both demean the thing they're talking about and get out of the compliment.
Yeah. I I love getting a good deal.
Sure.
I don't think of myself as being cheap because I will spend money on, food and wine, for
Yeah.
example. Um, but I absolutely love a deal. Like I need to buy a new computer. As you noticed, my screen flickering while we were in Florida.
Yep. I
Um,
don't know how you look at that thing, to be quite frank.
dude, I just got so used to it. I'm
Yeah.
actually now I'm putting the dots together. Notice I've been complaining about my eyesight going.
Yes.
It's completely in the same timeline as that flicker has been happening.
Your computer like rotted your eyes, and your
It's
eyes are never going to come back from that.
it's possible. I put Chaz's sunglasses on when we were playing a game of pool. It was incredible. I'm like, wow, the world is in sharp focus. What am I doing?
Man, I tell you what, for those people who are thinking about getting glasses, who need them, just get them. You, like these things are so valuable to me now. Even the thought of them getting misplaced gives me anxiety,
Yeah. Well,
which I guess don't get them then because I'm basically can't function. It's just like now I'm part of big glasses. Big
yeah.
glasses has me in their pocket.
I need them, and I thought it was related to just aging, but apparently now that I'm connecting the dots, it's my screen that's been
It's your
flickering for
flicker.
2 years.
Yeah.
Anyways, I needed to buy a computer. I started looking at them yesterday, and then I thought, you know what? Black Friday's coming up. I will feel like such an idiot if I pay for a computer today, and then Black next week, it's
Get discount.
30% cheaper.
Yep.
So I take pride in that, saving that 30% any chance I can get.
Okay, so I
But I never,
suppose
but I never talk about it publicly. That's the other thing is like I'm built that way, but I also have that resistance to where it's just
unseemly.
gauche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say the one caveat here of price talking is if you're going to hook somebody up with a deal somewhere, right? Like if you know a little loophole somewhere, a little secret, you know, and somebody compliments your shoes, saying, you say, well, guess what? You know, whatever has these shoes for super cheap right now. You should go get them, right?
Yeah.
Hooking somebody up with a deal, that's okay.
Yeah. I like not, I don't know if my parents raised me this way or not, but it's like not talking about money is the way to go.
Yeah, it's better. If you can
Yeah.
avoid, it's better.
Yeah. I think it's, my parents weren't wealthy or anything like that, but I think it's, if you're wealthy, then you don't talk about money. So you're always aspiring to live the life of that, you know, of the next level of society up from where you're at. And wealthy people, it's not a concern of theirs. And so the only times they're talking about it is about maybe investments to be made,
Yeah,
you know?
it's true.
So that's the cue that you're following. Anyways, yeah,
No
I'll
barrel.
say no barrel. Barrel or nod, displaying merch from the university that you attended. This is from your article that you wrote on Beach Grit about Harvard grad Jeffrey Epstein, and Harvard former Prez, Larry Summers, and their email exchange. And then down in the comments section, people are like, man, you want to know how you know if somebody went to Harvard? They'll tell you.
Yeah.
And then they're like, what? You know who's the worst? I'm sorry,
USC.
USC fans.
Man.
They have to have the license plate border. They have to have the sweatshirt merch. So I was like, man, those people annoy the crap out of me too. Barrel or not.
No barrel. And making your university your identity is weird. Like I did
So
go
weird.
I did go through a time in my life where I wished that I had gone to like a notable university, because I looked at those people and I think, you guys are in the club. You guys have a club, right? You're part of the USC club or the UCLA club or the whatever club. And I'm not invited. I just have to stand outside and look in, you know, like bummer. I'm sure it's fun in there. Older I've gotten, I realize, no, you have made your university your identity, which is completely weird. Like it's, I fully get having a hat, right? A USC hat in the closet or a sweatshirt or something. But the people who have the flag flying outside the house, the license plate holder, and even the car painted in school colors, I'm just like, what? Your university means that much to you. This is like, this is your life now. This is your identity. Weird. No barrel.
It's super weird, and it's one of those things that those people ruined for everybody else.
Yep.
And what's bizarre is I know people who didn't go to USC
Of
and
course.
they still wear all the merch and they have the license plate holder.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Fans.
that's
Fans of the
insane.
university. Yeah.
Right. That's insane, right? But my point is they ruined it for everybody else because when I was young, I remember watching the Cosby Show.
Yeah.
Probably not a great example, but Bill Cosby wore whatever, I forget what
It
university he
was
went to.
it was one of the historically black college universities. It was one of those
Okay.
HBCUs.
But you remember it.
Of course,
Yeah,
totally. That was
it
his
was
look.
just like when he was winding down at night, it was like his pajamas almost. You know, he's just wearing that sweater because he had proudness of it. But he would never leave the house wearing it. It was just his own little proud thing that he would do in homage to his younger self. And that was dignified. There was no problem with that. Everybody else now has ruined it for him. He can't even do that because he'll be associated with a person who didn't even
With
go to
the
that school.
garish university clothing wearer.
No barrel.
No barrel. There's not one but two Harvard grads down the street for me. Both husband and wife went to Harvard. Both played sport at Harvard. So we're like, you know, not only went to the university, but played on university teams. I have never seen one of them in one piece of Harvard clothing. They don't have Harvard anything. I've never seen, you would not know that they were Harvard people. Well, that's the way to do it.
How do you know they're Harvard people?
Because daughter was friends with daughter. And so it came up at some point.
Okay.
Yeah.
It didn't come up in the first conversation.
No, it wasn't like, I went to Harvard.
Right.
Are you a Harvard man? No.
Okay. Perfect.
But also
No
screw
barrel.
Larry Summers. Larry Summers is such a piece of work, and it's fun to, in this day and age, I don't like the mob. I hope people here know I'm not about neither culture nor the weird ass right wing version of cancel culture. I don't know. All the Republicans or Trump voters hated cancel culture. Like they would just rail against cancel culture. They get power. They're equally tattletaling. Like tattletaling more. I read something yesterday that uh, what over 600 people have lost their jobs because of a Charlie Kirk comment. They interviewed one of the teachers who lost her job, literally lost her teaching job. All she did was put the Kirk quote about, some people have to die for the right to bear arms, whatever that quote is. Put that quote, his quote, and then said thoughts and prayers. And that's it. She was being serious. She was a Christian who was thinking and praying about fired for that. I'm like, you MAGA people are insane cancel people. All to say though, back to Larry Summers. When somebody who deserves to go down and is getting roasted in public, it feels really good to warm hands on those flames.
Um, the other thing is you've often given a lot of grace for misuse of language or,
Yeah.
bastardization of language, but that entire article was giving them a hard time about their bastardization of language. But I actually agreed with you.
I mean, they were just so foolish in the way they were talking. They weren't playing with the English language. Like,
No, they
I
weren't.
make all kinds of mistakes at Beach Crit that are accidental. I make all kinds of mistakes on Beach Crit that are on purpose. It's hard to differentiate sometimes. I'm horrible at what I do. But Larry Summers and Epstein's conversation was so juvenile. I mean,
I know.
him asking advice to how to have an affair, basically, Larry Summers, right? How to hit on his colleague or whatever, a student, whatever she was. Uh, but then adult men who use the letter U instead of YOU drives me crazy. And at that level, what are you guys doing? Like, what weirdos? What creeps out of the gate?
I agree with you. I read those and yeah, the way that they spoke was, I mean, I would expect more from, you know, my plumber when I'm communicating with my plumber or
Yeah.
something like that. Like I would actually consider, I'd be like, God, this guy's an idiot if he communicated with me that way. And the fact that, yeah, he was the president of Harvard is absolutely bizarre.
The
And
thing,
an old timer too, because it's usually young people who are using the shorthand.
I mean, so the thing with this, and this is a rule, this is a tool to live by, this is however any listener wants to take it. I fully believe 100% you communicate on social media or uh, text or whatever at the in the era that you came in, right? I'm old. I am pre all this stuff. You know, I didn't send my first text message till I was whatever. I'm not allowed to use all the slang. I have to spell things out. I have to do it appropriately because that's the way I grew up. Now, daughter, go all the U's you want. Go all the shorthand, go all the PPL, go all of that. When I see an adult though, using adult male or female, using the latest and greatest in, you know, shorthand, internet shorthand, like it's not for you, man. You can stand and appreciate it, but that is not uh, like communicate like your age, please.
Agreed.
Yeah.
We can't be friends if you don't.
Nope.
Okay, final barrel or nah, quitting surfing. And this came from Derek's article on Beach Grit entitled, I'm Done. An 87-year-old exits the water and forces every surfer to confront their own finish line, end quote, which was about a West Oz surfer named Kevin Merrifield, who said, quote, I have a bit of a heart condition and I'm having trouble with being out of breath all the time, which is not a good recipe for being out in the surf. So unfortunately, my time is up, end quote. Quitting
No
surfing.
barrel, no barrel. And if you do quit surfing, nobody ever knew you quit because you didn't tell anybody, because also you didn't even consider it quitting something, right? Like, it's not like there's, times in my life where I haven't gone surfing for a month or, whatever. Probably a month is about as long, or yeah, I guess when I had shoulder surgery, whatever. I don't know how long, but a while, right? I'm not actively thinking, ooh, am I in the process of quitting? Did I quit? Is this quitting? Like, if you haven't served for 3 years, you still don't, why do you don't have to say, I quit, right? Like, I suppose in the 87-year-old's case, but he doesn't know. Maybe he's out at some, warm beach someday and there's like little 2-footers and somebody has a longboard and he goes and paddles it out and, takes some 2-foot glides. Like there's just no point in saying you're quitting surfing because how do you know that you're never going to surf again?
So that is really what's going on here is he's making a mental decision just to check out of the game. And I think what it's more reflective of is that ev every day being a slave to checking the surf, checking the forecast, wanting to know what's going on. And then if you miss it, you're feeling guilty that you missed it. It really dictates your life. So it seems like he's making the mental decision just to check out of that thing. But I mean, he stated very clearly that he wouldn't be doing your thing either, which I think is also a no barrel
To like go,
to make the decision that you'll never even be open to the opportunity again.
yeah, no barrel. That's a
It's
no
no
barrel.
barrel.
You
Yeah.
never know what life is going to bring, and you don't have to say it's not something you have to quit. I could fully see, I no longer am physically able to surf the way I used to, right? Like I'm no longer physically able to go get hold, I don't know, two wave hold downs or whatever if is a problem with breathing. But so why close off all possibilities and iterations of surfing that don't require that?
Well, this guy is hardcore, so I don't mean to disparage him at all. And I guess he had another injury a couple of years ago, so he hasn't even been standing on a surfboard for a long time. He was still going surfing and just laying down prone and getting big waves at Margaret River and stuff like that. Everybody had tales to tell about his ability and just bravado. So I appreciate all of that in him. But what I would say is obviously he's putting his health first. What I would argue back is that it is the fountain of youth.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you can't go surf overhead Margaret anymore, but just go take a plunge. Just go
Yeah.
down to the water. Don't don't give it up entirely. Like go get a version of it that is maybe body surfing or just getting in the water again. It's going to be healing and restorative.
Get on one of those pipos. Those pipos are fun.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel
Don't
bad. It
quit.
made me sad to see it, It's like I mean, I understand like I don't know anything about his heart condition. He knows way more about it, so maybe he's making the right decision. But like I said, I think there is healing there.
Don't quit.
Don't quit. Never give up the dream. Even if you move to the middle America and you feel like you're removed, it's like keep the mentality intact.
Matt Warshaw moved to Seattle, Washington, and yet he is as surfer as a surfer can be.
In his mind, he's still surfing.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, hey, happy anniversary once again. I guess next week is Thanksgiving on Thursday. Should we record on Friday, the day after?
We sure could, or
Okay.
your call. I'm happy to always looking for an excuse to step away from the family, go lock myself in a room by myself.
Well, we'll chat on Noble Rot on Monday too, right?
We sure will.
Okay, so listeners, go get Noble Rot on Monday. Anything else?
That's it.
All right, listeners, until Monday on Noble Rot and next week on the grid.
Keep work.